Hello. This is Dr. Ahmed Magable. Welcome to OET Professor course. So in this video, we will talk about the skill that you have to pass Part C in reading. So we will practice briefly to know the basics of how to deal in Part C. Well, I was surprised that so many people have told me that Part C is the monester part in reading, and I was so stunned by that because Part C is one of the most easiest part if you have the skill to deal with it. Okay, Part C, as we said previously in the last part when we were discussing Part B, we said that in Part C, particularly Part C, all the answers that you will have, you can exclude them very easily. The answers are so easy, and in the same time, each question is have its own paragraph. So you can the first question is for the first paragraph. The second one is for the second one, and etc. And sometimes maybe there will be two questions for the same paragraph, and you can expect that if there is underline bolded letter or phrase like this, okay, or a pronoun that what is indicated for, so you can predict it's the only situation where there is a possibility that there is two questions from the same paragraph. Okay, this is super important. So you should know that. About how to deal with this part especially, I told you that you have to make your brain absorb it, drink it. Okay, drink the basics of what you are reading, so that you can, let's say, gather the most abundant info about it. Okay, and you always put yourself instead of the writer. Of course, the skills that I'm talking about is just by sharpening, and they are not that hard to get. Okay, they are very easy to get. So in the first of all, you have to read the question. The two reports mentioned in the first paragraph both concluded that homeopathy, as we said in Part B, it's the same as Part C. Some questions are talking about the whole point of view of that paragraph, and some of which are talking about specific thing in the paragraph. So I told you how to read thoroughly by reading each sentence until this point. Okay, you just read it and you just recap what you learned about it in less than half a second. Okay, it's just like this. For many, homeopathy is simply unscientific, but regular user hold a very different view. So homeopathy is a simple unscientific, but regular user hold a very different view. So you just recap it in a way in your own language. Homeopathy works by giving patient a very dilute substance that in larger doses would cause the very symptoms that need curing, and you stop and you recap what you have learned. Then you continue. Taking small doses of the substances derived from plants, animal, or minerals strengthens the body's ability to heal and increase the resistance to illness or infection. So until now, I know the definition and I know what its effect. Or that is the theory. The debate about its effectiveness is nothing new. Okay, the debate until now. Recently, Australia's National Health and Medical Research Council released a paper which found there were no health condition for which there was reliable evidence that homeopathy was effective. Okay, so our debating that has no effect. This issued a report from UK House of Commons which said that the evidence failed to show a credible physiological mode of action for homeopathic products. Okay, so the other one, so this another report has the same point of view like the before, like one before it, and what data were available showed homeopathic product to be no better than placebo. Yet Australians spend at least 11 million per year on homeopathy. Okay, let's go and answer the first question. It's just by logic. The two reports mentioned in the first paragraph both concluded that homeopathy could be harmful if not used well, that's what I'm talking about. That even the answers of part C are very easy to exclude. Okay, so it's which will be never A. The second one merely works on some basis as the placebo effect. No, they work as the same as, not merely. It's always work in the basis as the placebo effect. Let's say the C lacks any form of convincing proof of its value as a treatment. Well, that's the most let's say valuable one until now, unconvincing one. Let's say the D would require further investigation before it was fully understood. No, it's C. It's C for sure. It's the most suitable, the most reliable one that you can count on, and you can use it like and so that's the basics of how you can use the skill to pass part C. As you can see, it's very simple. The question would be very easy to deal with. There is no and in each question you should not expend more than 1 to 1.5 minutes. This will come with practice. Okay, so as we said, always remember you will be given 45 minutes for part B and C, 15 minutes for part B, 15 minutes for part C1, 15 minutes for part C2. So as when you see the clock or the countdown or the countdown clock is on 29 out of the 45, you have to leave part B and you just go to part C1. And when you see it 15 minutes or 14 minutes that left from the clock of the time of the countdown clock, you have just to move to C2. Okay, and in the same thing, you just read the question, go read the paragraph, and go back and read the question with the answers and etc. Of course, in the online live session, sorry, about me on that. We will practice on the recent tests, okay, that in the past 3 months, so that we can recap what OET is focusing on. But basically, it's the same as I've just said. The part C is so easy. Is even their answers can be excluded very easy. So you can get a very high mark in part C. Your minimum score should be between 12 to 14 out of 16. So if you are doubting some question, that's okay. And please do not just hear to anyone that is telling you go and read all the text and go. No, this is wasting of time. I told you that you have to make what we agreed on, which is time control. Okay, of course we will talk more about how you can get pronouns and how you can predict what is the underlying phrases are talking about by something we call context. And we will go through this more thoroughly. So I hope that you just sharpen the skill until our online live session. I hope that you're having a good day. Bye bye.